So I found this post on the Pokemon investing subreddit that I wanted to share with you all. Here is a Pokemon investor who took a chance buying this box, and it turned out to be a great purchase. This is an example of somebody who took a little bit of a risk, and it turned out well. So you guys can let me know down in the comment section below if you guys ever took a risk buying from somebody and it worked out in your favor. This is an example of just that. Now, I'm not trying to promote taking abnormal risk buying from people that are obviously scams, or buying from somebody that is probably you shouldn't be buying from. But sometimes there may be some signs that maybe it's worth a shot. Sometimes eBay is awesome. So as you can see here, this is a picture of an Evolving Skies booster box. It looks like maybe this is some thank you letter or like receipt from the seller, and this is probably what it came in. So let's just read what this person has to say. Got this Evolving Skies booster box for 1,800 euros. So if you change it to USD, you can see here it is $2,086. I'm assuming that includes all the shipping and whatever. So $2,086. And keep in mind, this booster box is going for around $2,200. You can see there's multiple people you can buy it from at $2,200. So they saved about $120. But if you include taxes, you're gonna have to pay for this. It's probably gonna be another $150. So do the math. This person probably saved around $200, and they're also paying in euros. So I'm guessing they're somewhere in Europe or something. And sometimes things are more expensive there. So this is probably a pretty good deal. His rating, or 1,800 euros from a college student. So that's like a big thing, I guess. Part of the story is from a college student. His rating was terrible, 65%. But from what they told me, they're not good at selling, and the last order placed gave them a bad review because they were in college and couldn't post within 3 days of order. So buyer asked for a refund and gave them a really bad review. I took a risk and we went back and forth. Safe to say, I got humble. Turns out the seller is really nice and understanding, just a rookie when it comes to selling. No one touched that listing as per review rating. Good for me. So this kind of brings up an interesting thing that probably some people don't even think about. When you see a low review, right, 65%, automatically for a lot of people, that is a turnoff, right? You're not going to buy from that person. Why buy from somebody with a 65%, positive feedback? I personally wouldn't, right? So as soon as you see that, you click on the listing and you see maybe it's a little bit under market, and you see that, you're like, oh, they're a scammer, right? I mean, most of you guys probably do that. But here's the thing. There are some times where there's people out there that are good people, right? They maybe just sell a few items and they get one bad review. And that obviously will tank their reviews. Like, okay, if you maybe only sold 3 things or have 3 reviews and one of them is bad, well, and you one negative review and 2 positive ones, it's going to be probably 66% positive feedback or something like that. So it's going to be really bad. But that one bad review may be just an innocent thing that really was not that bad. It could just be somebody who bought from them that's just not that nice of a person and left a bad review when it wasn't that big of a deal. And it seems like some people out there just don't have that many ratings to back it up. So for example, somebody could have 100 sales and 1 bad review, and it's not going to really affect them. But somebody out there that has not a lot of reviews may get affected greatly by just one small thing, and it may really destroy their ability to sell, as it seems like nobody really wanted to buy it at the price, even though probably was under market where this person's at. But this person just read into it, or messaged the person and figured out what happened and took the risk buying it, and it turned out to be okay. So this points that maybe if next time you see a listing that is maybe a little bit under market, but it's from a seller that maybe doesn't have the best feedback, maybe they don't have 100% feedback or 99% positive feedback, look and see what their negative review was, because I have actually seen it a few times where somebody doesn't have a super high rating, and you look at what the negative review was about. It was about something super minor. Oh, they shipped it a little bit too late, or they didn't ship it in a few days. They shipped it maybe in a week. And that's all it was, as long as they got the product, right? At some point, I mean, it's fine. That's not like absurd. So there are some people out there that give really bad ratings for maybe something very small that didn't actually affect the actual product you're buying, and that just may happen. So for you guys out there that are looking to buy something and see a really bad positive feedback percentage from a seller, maybe look into it, look at their reviews as a seller, and see what actually happened. So that's just my advice. Maybe you can catch some good deals like this person did, but like I said, you shouldn't go out there and just now knowing that, okay, this happened to somebody and it was great. It's not going to happen all the time, right? There may be good reasons for some people getting bad negative reviews, but for this person, they seem to figure out what happened and why it happened and got a good deal. So let's just see some of the comments here and see what some people have to say. That's a great booster box. Congrats. Thanks. My goal is to have 6 at the end of the year. I have 4, just need 2 more. So this person is trying to buy more. Let's see why. Just out of interest, why that specific goal do you think Evolving has still room to grow as much as younger sets, especially compared to 151 or Destined Rivals? I have trouble believing it can grow as much percentage-wise, but always interesting in other people's takes. How I see it is if a card in this set outweighs the price of the box, graded or a raw card almost eclipse the box, then it's worth it. Raw Umbreon is at least 1,000 to 1,400. Boxes will always move up no matter what set. I think the box will hit 4,000 euros by the end of the year or end of next year. Has all the EV lines lineups. I'm pretty sure that's not true. I don't think it has. What is it? It doesn't have the Espeon. I'm pretty sure that's the one it's missing, right? Espeon, because the Espeon is in Fusion Strike. I believe that to be the case. Where am I at? Has all the evolutions, Ray in a generation card. The Moonbreon art pays homage to Van Gogh's Starry Nights. I got cases of Destined Rivals and Prismatic Product. I don't rate 151 as much. I know it'll do well long term, but it's just not for me. Grew up with the original 151 and I love them, but it's meh. I will still have a ton of that product. Lol. Destined Rivals, Prismatic, and 151 has a lot of growth, but this has 5 years on it. Honestly, not a bad take. I mean, it seems like they are, have a strategy and a plan, and they're going with it. So I'd say for investing, they seem to know what they want. This person says, I think it'll do well. No one knows for sure what'll win percentage wise. Just do what I've done and buy all 3. I have 2 Evolving Skies booster box cases, Destined Rivals, 2 151 booster bundles, and this person says not all of us have 8K to spend on cardboard. Well, that's true. Nice deal. Sorry about the jealous haters pretending they don't care. Congratulations. There's people here hating on this person talking about this. His rating wouldn't be that low from one bad sale. You rolled the dice and got lucky. I wouldn't be dropped that much unless it's a reputable seller. Fair. I talked to the seller for days. Like I said, the seller humbled me real hard. I hope that 1800 will do them well for university and Christmas. So, seems like the person had some sort of story or whatever. So, what do you guys think about this? Would you take a chance, or would you, regardless of the situation, just not buy if they had a rating this bad? Sometimes, depending on it, maybe take a chance. I mean, eBay does have buyer protection, but possibly, maybe, you might be scared that maybe it won't really work out well, and you'll have to go through this long string of events to try to get your money back. But eBay does have pretty good buyer protection from what I've heard. They usually, side with the buyer. So that is something to also think about. So that's all I want to share in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.